Hello friends, my name is Steve Moore, and I'm the owner of this brick and mortar shop, Run More, located in Westminster, Maryland. Today we're going to be talking about the new Hoka Clifton 8 that comes out in June of 2021. We've been open since 2014 and we have been a Hoka dealer since 2014. It's been really fun seeing this brand grow. We've carried a bunch of brands through over the years, and I always say there's only so much room on our wall and in our inventory room here. So there's so many brands of running shoes out there. If you guys have been a long time runner, you've seen things come and go and trends come and go, but nothing has been like the growth of the Hoka shoe for us. When we first opened, we were carrying Hokas. It was sort of a tough sell, and we would have to sort of convince people to try these shoes because it was so different from everything else that was on the wall. Not just like how it's shaped, but how it looked, how it felt. It was just a very different shoe. And it's been kind of fun throughout the years as we've seen brands come and do sort of their Hoka-like shoe. And we see it all the time. We had brands when we first opened that were sort of, what is this stupid brand, and all that kind of stuff. And now they sort of have their own version of it. And it's to the point where we'll have brands that will come in and say, this is sort of our Clifton, and we always say, I'd rather carry the Hoka Clifton than carry your version of a Hoka Clifton. And throughout the years, we've seen a lot of different iterations of this shoe, and some have been really good and some haven't been so much. There was a couple middle years there where this shoe was getting firmer and firmer, and that's sort of the opposite of what this shoe started as. So each year, the last 3 years, I feel like it's gotten a little bit better each time, and we were excited for the Clifton 8 just for that reason, because it's always fun seeing what's new and what's exciting underneath the hood of a shoe, especially a shoe as popular as the Clifton, and one that we've had for so long that we've been actually seeing sort of the ups and downs and ebbs and flows of this shoe as it's changed every year. So I'd like to just sort of start with what the Clifton is. The Clifton is Hoka's mid-cushion neutral shoe. So, this is their everyday trainer shoe, and it's very light. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's a very light shoe. It's it's about the same as the last version. We've been seeing some stuff coming out from Hoka saying that it's a lot lighter than previous generations, but weighing it's virtually the same. If anything, on the women's side, it's a pinch heavier, but you really can't feel that difference. We're talking minuscule amounts here. We're still talking about 9 ounces on the men's and about 7.5 on the women's. So it's not like it's a heavy shoe. This is a shoe that you can put on your foot and go run, we say, from like a mile to a marathon. You can do a little bit of everything in this shoe. It's designed for that everyday trainer. And it's cool because this being sort of the basis and the genesis for so much of what Hoka does now, it's sort of, when we're talking about the different versions of Hokas, like we always start with this. So we'll say like, oh, you're looking for a shoe that's like the Hoka for your everyday, but maybe something for a lighter, faster day or race day. Great, we'll take this and we'll step down to a Mach or a Rincon or whatever, depending on which way we're going. Oh, you like the Clifton, but you need more arch support. Great, so now we're gonna step up and try, whatever, the Arahi or wherever we may go with it. But this is the shoe that comes to mind for so many people when they're talking about Hoka in general, is the Hoka Clifton. It's still, even as this brand has grown over the years and they've extended their line out to 1 million different models and such, this is still their most popular, their most sold shoe that they put out there. And going back to sort of some of the other iterations of this shoe, while this is a mid-cushion neutral shoe, there are versions of this shoe that are heavier, or that are more cushioned. So somebody comes in and says, what's your max cushion Hoka shoe? And you say, well, the Bondi. The Bondi is like the big sibling to the shoe. It's the max cushion shoe. But it's interesting, this is the softest shoe. So when people say like, I want the most cushioned Hoka shoe that I can put under my foot, technically there's shoes that are more cushioned, but if you're looking for soft cushion, this is it. This is where you want to be. This is that put on and people will say like, I'm walking on clouds. I feel like there's a marshmallow under my foot. And if you've been around with Hoka for some time, back in version 5 of this, they were trying to get you to think about that. So like a lot of their logos and such were done with little marshmallows and such to get you that feel. It's really fun when you put somebody in this shoe for the first time, or really any other Hoka Clifton. It's like an immediate change. When somebody comes in here with like a real stiff, traditional running shoe, something like, I've been running for a long time and I've always stuck with brand X, and it's a traditional powerhouse shoe that we've seen in the market for decades, and they put this on, it's just so different and it's so fun and it feels so nice underfoot. The idea being behind all Hoka shoes is that it's built on sort of this wheel. It's called their Meta Rocker platform. The idea being, as you step down, it sort of moves with you. And that's what we see when people put the shoe on. The shoe is like working with you as you're walking and running. So it feels great underfoot. And sometimes when we're in the shop and somebody puts on a shoe that's more stable or more stiff or just more traditional running shoe, you can hear it. You can hear people come in and they say like, I'm a clompy runner, or we'll see them walking around and you'll get that clap, 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 clap as their shoes hitting the ground. You don't feel that with this. It works with you and it moves with you. And because of that, it's great for a bunch of different injuries, and it feels great on your foot when you're just trying to go for some longer miles because it's gliding along with you. Just real quick, I want to go back. That was a great catch on my part because I knocked this little pyramid over like 10 times setting up. So anyway, it feels great under your foot, and because it's working with you, people that have some sort of like stiff joints, arthritis, they feel like they can feel the ground so much when they're running. This shoe is great for those little injuries. And as we've grown over the years, when we first opened, we would have a lot of podiatrists and PTs and such. The term was like, go into a running shop and get something that has like a real good arch to it and that kind of stuff. But now we're seeing different injuries that people are saying, go get a Hoka specifically. Oh, you're dealing with, plantar fasciitis. Get a Hoka because it has a nice arch to it. And that rolling sensation as you're walking and running really helps stretch out your foot when you're moving. Oh, you have a really stiff joint on your big toe. You're dealing with some arthritis up there. So a couple, some toe issues. Great, get a Hoka. It's gonna work with you. It's not gonna feel so stiff under your foot. The other thing that's nice about the Hoka is it's got a lower heel to toe drop. So when we're talking about the heel to toe drop in a shoe, it's how much higher the height of the heel is down to the toe. We talk about sort of ramping it. It's sort of how much you're pitched forward. This sort of looks like you'd be really, really high up into it, but it's not. Compared to some of the other stuff on the wall and stuff that's more traditional in this category, it's not. So like your traditional, whatever Ghost or whatever that you're used to in that mid-cushion neutral family, usually has between an 8 and 12 millimeter pitch to it. We have some stuff that's also a zero drop shoe. This is right smack in the middle at 5.5 millimeters. So it's like in that sort of sweet spot of like, I can feel there's a little bit of pitch, but not too much. So by changing that pitch, it sort of changes your trajectory when you're running and where you're putting your heel placement and such. So same thing, some people that might have some toe issues and some circulation issues and some just general forefoot stuff, by lowering your heel a little bit, it does sort of help with that so we're not pushing all our momentum down towards our toe box. So just a couple little things on that. This being a neutral shoe, it's really designed for somebody who's sort of in the middle or maybe somebody who underpronates a little bit. If you're somebody who's more flat-footed, who's looking for a Hoka shoe to try, check out down below. We'll have a link to our review of the Arahi and the Gaviota, which is sort of their most stable versions that come from the Clifton family. So go ahead and check those out if that's sort of what you're looking for. But if you're somebody who's just looking for a neutral shoe or somebody who underpronates, this is going to be and something that's squishy underfoot, this is going to be your friend. So this is going to give you that nice all-day support. And some of the little things that we've added from previous generations is they've added how much of the rubberized protection they have on here. They sort of call it your crash pad, and it's going to protect you when you're running and such. So here's two shoes that are the same length. This is last version, and this is this version. So you can see we just made some adjustments on where all the rubber is on the outside of the shoe, just to give a little bit more durability and really going to give you a little more protection if you are somebody who supinates. I kind of, when I was playing around with these two, I've been wearing one on one foot, one on the other, as I like to do in mine. When you first take them out of the box, old ones versus the new ones, I hope you can kind of see this, and even the way that these are sitting down here. When this shoe is sort of in its resting motion, and I like to talk about that when people come in with old beat up shoes, is they'll plop their shoes down, and you can kind of see which way they're pronating just by how much the shoe has moved over time. So if you take a pair of shoes and just plop them down, look to see, especially if you've got tons of miles on, look to see sort of which way they're going and figure out if you're in a neutral and a stable shoe. And it kind of tells you what's happening to your feet when you're running, when it's in its resting state. So when I plop these two shoes down in their resting state, you can see how this one, you see more seams or creases in this shoe compared to this one. It's a much looser, much airier upper. I really feel good in the upper on this, and that's where I know they put a lot of their changes from previous 7 to version 8, is it's much lighter and more breathable through here. It feels great underfoot. So if you're somebody who gets that sort of hot foot feel, if you're somebody who lives down in the warmer climate as you're getting ready for a nice hot summer as we are here in Maryland, it's nice having a nice breathable upper, and this feels great underfoot. As we've done with our previous version on the last Clifton, is we still have that same heel counter to it, that nice slip-in feel that they've done the last couple versions of the Clifton, and we're seeing on some of the other stuff from Hoka. They're sticking with it. It's nice. It seems silly, but when we watch people put on shoes, you'd be shocked how many people come in here and they like slam down on the heel, and I'm like watching with my nice shoes, like please stop ruining my shoes. This makes it really nice and easy for people to get on and off, and it's nice. It just feels great when you slip it on. And because this is so nice and squishy soft, that first step in feel feels really good. It's got a really plush heel cup. It has a really plush tongue on it, much like the last version of this shoe. They really did make sure that they upped that from previous versions on it. So if somebody who works in a job where you're on your feet all day, awesome shoe for it. If you're somebody who has some underpronation, neutral, great shoe for it. Some of the things I just don't love for this shoe, if you're somebody with balance issues because of the way that it's sort of built on that Meta Rocker platform, it can feel a little bit off balance. So we have some people that come in that will say, I have some balance issues. My friend swears by the Hoka. It doesn't seem to work out. There's a lot of other great things out there for balance issues, in my opinion. If you're somebody who's going to the gym, you're somebody who's just using this to do some cardio stuff, from side to side stuff, I don't necessarily love the Hoka for that, the Clifton for that. It's just, again, your stack height's a little high. It's really designed for that forward stuff. So if you're somebody who's gonna be doing lateral movement stuff, I would probably stay away from most Hokas in general, personally. There's a lot of great stuff out there. If you're just looking for a great everyday shoe, put on, go run some miles, go walk around all day, it's a great shoe. At 130 bucks, the price hasn't changed on it. It's gonna be a great shoe for you to check out. So if you like this shoe, feel free to get it from our shop. Use promo code RUNMORE and you will save 15%. A couple other just little things I'm just thinking about right now is the wides. It is available in wides. So these two will be available in standard and wide, and these two are available in standard and wide. On the men's, they only do a 2E. There isn't a 4E version for this shoe yet. If you're looking for a 4E Hoka, you'll have to go to the Bondi. The Bondi is the only version of any Hoka that has a 4E. We did increase our sizing run on this. I say we. Hoka did increase their sizing run on this. So this will actually go up to a 16 on the men's now, and the women's side will go up to a 12. So it is bigger than what it's been before, and we can go to a D width. We can go up to a 2E width on these. If you have any questions on the Hoka or any other shoe, feel free to leave it down below, and like and subscribe our channel. It really does help us out. Thank you so much for the support, and happy running, and yeah, go check out the new Clifton 8. Thanks.